I didn't realize how much I was thinking about food until I stopped. And honestly, that sounds dramatic. But if you've ever spent your day mentally planning meals, thinking about what you should or shouldn't eat, trying to be good, and then feeling frustrated when food still takes up so much space in your brain, you probably know exactly what I mean. Because for a long time, healthy eating didn't feel peaceful to me. It felt exhausting. Not physically exhausting, but mentally draining. And the confusing part was that from the outside, everything looked healthy. I was trying to make balanced choices. I was trying to eat clean. I was trying to stay disciplined. But somehow, food still felt loud. I would finish breakfast and already be thinking about lunch. I would try to eat lighter during the day, and then spend the rest of the afternoon thinking about snacks, cravings, or what I was going to eat later. And I told myself this was normal. I thought this was just part of being healthy, that if I wanted to feel good in my body, I just needed to think about food more carefully. But over time, it started feeling like food was taking over way too much mental space. And what finally changed things for me was realizing that constantly thinking about food isn't always about lack of discipline. Sometimes, it's your body asking for more support. And I think that's a really important conversation, because so many women are walking around assuming they just need more control, more structure, more discipline, more willpower. But when your meals aren't actually satisfying your body, your brain doesn't just ignore that. It keeps bringing food back into your attention. And once I understood that, so many things started making sense. Because when I looked back honestly, a lot of my meals were technically healthy, but they weren't actually leaving me feeling nourished. They looked healthy, but they didn't feel grounding. And there's a difference between those two things. I think a lot of women are eating meals that look good on paper, but don't actually leave them feeling calm, stable, and satisfied afterward. And when that happens, food keeps pulling at your attention all day long. That constant mental back and forth, what should I eat? Did I eat too much? Should I have something else? Why am I hungry again? That noise becomes exhausting. And eventually, you start believing that your body is the problem. But for me, what finally changed everything was not becoming stricter. It was becoming more supportive. I stopped trying to make every meal as light and controlled as possible. And I started asking a different question instead: does this meal actually feel nourishing? Not just healthy, not just low calorie, not just clean. Nourishing. Because those are not always the same thing. And once I started building meals that actually felt supportive, something surprising happened. Food got quieter. Not overnight. Not perfectly. But noticeably. I stopped spending my entire day mentally negotiating with food. I stopped constantly feeling like I needed just a little something. Meals started feeling more complete. And I think that's the piece that so many women are missing right now. Healthy eating has become so focused on control that a lot of people don't even realize they're undernourished in really subtle ways. Not starving, not drastically restricting, just never fully supported. And your body notices that. Your brain notices that. Which is why food keeps coming back into your thoughts. And honestly, I think this is one of the reasons so many women feel disconnected from their bodies now. Because we've been taught to distrust hunger, to ignore cravings, to override what we feel, instead of learning how to actually support ourselves well. And the more grounded my meals became, the calmer everything started to feel. Not just physically, mentally too. I wasn't obsessing over food all day anymore. I wasn't constantly chasing snacks. I wasn't opening the pantry every hour trying to figure out what I needed. Things just felt steadier. And that steadiness changed so much more than I expected. Because when food stops taking over your brain, you get so much mental energy back. You stop revolving your whole day around eating perfectly. You stop feeling like every meal has to be managed. You stop feeling like your body is constantly fighting you. And instead, things start feeling more rooted, more grounded, more calm. And I honestly think that's what so many women are actually looking for. Not more food rules. Not more extremes. Just a way of eating that feels supportive enough that life can stop revolving around food all the time. Now, that doesn't mean every meal has to be perfect. And it definitely doesn't mean you can never enjoy food again. If anything, I think this whole experience taught me that real wellness should feel more peaceful, not more obsessive. And if healthy eating currently feels mentally exhausting for you, that might not be a discipline problem. It might just mean your body is asking for something different than what you've been taught. And once I finally started listening to that, everything began to feel quieter.